Hi students, this is Viswanath Chemistry faculty for NEET and IIT exams. Now see the remaining part. Activation energy and reversible reactions. Already we know that reversible reaction means reactants can form products and products can also form reactants. Such type of reactions are called reversible reactions. Now what is the relation between this activation energy and reversible reactions? Say this. According to concept of activation energy, the reacting species in the forward reaction and the products in the backward reaction follow same path. Both forward direction reaction takes place, that is forward reaction. This forward reaction and backward reaction follow same path. The activated complex in both the cases is also same. Next. But the activation energies for the forward and backward reactions are not the same. See this one. For exothermic reaction, activation energy for forward reaction less than activation energy for backward reaction. So activation energy of forward reaction symbol EAF less than EAB. EAB is the activation energy for backward reaction. Graphically, if we represent, then energy on y-axis, progress of reaction on x-axis. So these are reactants, these are representing products. So energy, so this is the energy of the reactants, now energy possessed by the reactants, and this is the activated complex. So this is threshold energy. Already in the last class we completed. Threshold energy symbol is E0. So E0 represents activation threshold energy. Now the energy gap between energy of the reacting molecules and threshold energy is called activation energy. So here this activation energy is related to forward reaction, and threshold energy and energy of the products, this energy gap is called activation energy for backward reaction. Symbol EAB. The energy difference between energy of the reacting molecules, energy of the products is called delta E. Now say this one. This activation energy for forward reaction is less. For backward reaction, activation energy is more. So that means reacting molecules by absorbing activation energy reach to threshold energy level. In that state, they form activated complex. That activated complex is converted to products by losing energy. So more amount of energy is released means activation energy possessed by the activation energy for backward reaction is more. So from this we can conclude activation energy for forward reaction is less, activation energy for backward reaction is more. So we can represent this activation energy of forward reaction less than activation energy of backward reaction. So it is a reversible reaction representing activation energies for forward and backward reactions when forward reaction is exothermic. So for exothermic reaction we can write delta E equal to negative. Okay. So for exothermic reaction means energy is released. Because of that releasing energy, the energy of the products is very less. See this on the y-axis, if we see energy of these products, that is less. So if we want to see backward reaction, these products should overcome this much energy barrier. That means energy of backward reaction is more. So we can represent like this. Next. For endothermic reaction, say this graph, energy on y-axis, progress of reaction on x-axis. Here this graph, this is energy of reactants, energy of products, this is threshold energy, this is the energy gap for forward reaction, that is nothing but activation energy of forward reaction. This is the energy gap for backward reaction, that is activation energy for backward reaction. Say this, here reactants by absorbing this energy reach to threshold energy level and form activated complex. This activated complex releases some energy and form products. Okay, so the energy gap for these reactants and activated complex is more. That means activation energy is more compared to activation energy of the backward reaction. So here in this case, activation energy for forward reaction greater than activation energy for backward reaction. So we can represent this activation energy of EAF greater than EAB. So this graph represents activation energies for forward and backward reactions when forward reaction is endothermic. Here endothermic means by absorbing heat energy reaction takes place, that is called endothermic. Say this one. Forward reaction to takes place, more energy is required. By absorbing energy, reactants converted into activated complex and then products. So forward reaction is endothermic. For this reaction, delta E equal to positive. Okay. Next, a comparison of the activation energy curves show that exothermic reaction requires less activation energy than the endothermic reaction. See the curves. This is the curve for exothermic reaction. For exothermic reaction to takes place forward reaction, less activation energy is enough. But in case of endothermic reaction, more activation energy is required for forward reaction. Because of this difference in activation energy, an exothermic reaction proceeds at a faster rate than endothermic reaction. That means the speed of exothermic reaction, this one, the speed of exothermic reaction is more than endothermic reaction. Okay. Next, Arrhenius equation for activation energy. See this one. A scientist Arrhenius developed a mathematical relationship between temperature and rate constant. How these two parameters are related to each other, temperature and rate constant. The temperature dependence of rate constant is K is directly proportional to e power minus EA by RT. So from that, K equal to A into e power minus EA by RT. Here this equation is called Arrhenius equation. A is called frequency factor. This is also constant of proportionality. It is called frequency factor. See the definition. The number of binary molecular collisions per second per liter is called frequency factor. Binary molecular collisions means collisions takes place between two molecules. Binary means two, molecular means molecules. So between two molecules in 1 liter volume per 1 second, how many collisions takes place? That is called frequency factor. EA is the activation energy, capital R is the gas constant, T is absolute temperature. From that equation, if we take logarithm, we can get final expression. That is log K equal to minus EA by 2.303 R into 1 by T plus log A. This equation is similar to y equal to mx plus c. If we take a graph, this is log K on y-axis, 1 by T on x-axis. We can get a line like this, curve like this. For this curve, slope equal to minus EA by 2.303 into R. Okay. Next, Arrhenius equation at temperatures T1 and T2 with rate constants K1 and K2 is log K2 by K1 equal to EA by 2.303 or into T2 minus T1 divided by T1 T2. Based on this, numericals are there. We have to remember this equation. Okay. Next, see the numerical. The rate constant for a first order reaction becomes 6 times when the temperature is raised from 350 Kelvin to 400 Kelvin. Calculate the energy of activation for the reaction. So at two different temperatures, rate constants K1 and K2, we know Arrhenius equation, that is this. Here rate constant increases 6 times, becomes 6 times when temperature is raised. So K2 by K1 equal to 6, T1, T2 values are given, R value taken in joules, substitute, then we can get activation energy. That is 41.718 kilojoule per mole. Next, For a reaction, the activation energy is 0. What is the value of rate constant at 300 Kelvin if K equal to this one? Rate constant value is given, temperature is given, EA value 0. See, this is the required equation for this. Now EA value 0 means total becomes 0. That is, see this one, K2 by K1 equal to anti-log of 0 means 1. So K2 equal to K1. Already K value is given. Same rate constant is obtained at another temperature, that is 1.6 into 10 power 6 second inverse. Next, the slope of a line in the graph of log K versus 1 by T for a reaction is minus 5841 Kelvin. Calculate energy of activation for the reaction. So slope is given from Arrhenius equation. Slope, from the graphical representation we can get slope formula, that equal to minus EA by 2.3 R. So activation energy equal to minus 2.303 R into slope. So slope value is given, substitute here, R value substitute, then we can get activation energy. Next, effect of catalyst on reaction rate. First of all, what is catalyst? A chemical substance which increases rate of reaction without consuming in the reaction is called catalyst. Generally, to increase the rate speed of the chemical reaction, we use a chemical substance. That substance cannot be consumed in the reaction, just it increases speed of the chemical reaction, that is called catalyst. Now, how this catalyst increases rate of reaction means, say this. In a catalytic reaction, the reaction is supposed to follow an alternate path in the presence of catalyst. If we use catalyst, then that reaction takes place by following another path. As a result, the amount of activation energy for the catalyzed reaction decreases and the height of energy barrier gets lowered. This results in increasing rate of reaction. Say this, from this graph we can understand this matter. Energy on y-axis, progress of reaction on x-axis. This thick line represents uncatalyzed reaction. That means in the absence of catalyst, reaction follows this path. Activation energy is more. In the presence of catalyst, this dotted line represents in the presence of catalyst, catalyzed reaction. EAC, here C means in presence of catalyst, this is the activation energy for the reaction. So in the presence of catalyst, reaction follows this path. This energy gap is decreased. That's why speed of the reaction increases. In this way, catalyst provides alternate path by decreasing activation energy so that rate of reaction is increased. Okay, next. In case of reversible reaction, in a reversible reaction, a catalyst lowers the height of the energy barrier for both forward and backward reactions to the same extent. That energy barrier decreases to the same extent both for forward and backward. Therefore, equilibrium point is not disturbed, though the equilibrium is reached earlier. That means in less time equilibrium stage is reached. Okay, next, see the question. Consider the reaction A gives rise to P. The change in concentration of A with time has been shown graphically. Predict the reaction. Concentration of reactant y-axis, time on x-axis. We can get this graph means it belongs to 0 order. Next, a curve has been plotted for the reaction A to B. What is the order and slope of the curve? This curve is given. So from this we can confirm this is first order reaction. Log of initial concentration divided by concentration of the reactant after some time, that equal to Kt by 2.303. It is similar to y equal to mx. So slope equal to k by 2.303. So from this graph we can say it belongs to first order. Thank you. Meet in the next class.